Hi Scholar, welcome to Post Scholars channel. So if you are preparing for WAEC exam, NECO exam, JAMB exam or any other college exam, I want to assure you that this video is for you. The title of this video is how to find unknown angles in a parallelogram. If you have been following my videos, you would notice that I've already talked about polygons and quadrilaterals in general. In that video, we talked about the properties of polygon, the theorems guiding polygons and stuff like that. So in this video, we have just one example we are going to solve together, right? The example says, in the diagram below, find the size of each angle. Take note, this question mimics a typical example of WAEC question, JAMB question, and even NECO question, right? So we have to find the size of each of these angles. Now, if you observe this diagram very well, you will notice that the size of the angles are unknown, right? So without any further ado, let's solve the problem. So to solve this problem, we need to incorporate the theorems guiding quadrilateral, and this kind of quadrilateral is a parallelogram, right? So what's one property of parallelogram? One property of parallelogram says opposite angles are equal. That means angle P is equals to angle R, right? Angle S is equals to what? Angle Q, right? And that property says both sides are parallel. You can see it. This side is parallel to this side. This side is also parallel to this side. So the one that is useful for us right now is that opposite angles are equal. So angle P equals angle R. So let's write that angle P is equal to angle R. Take note, this symbol represents angle, right? And what's the reason? The reason is opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. Now take note, this symbol represents parallelogram. Like the short form for parallelogram is this symbol, right? Everything here. Now we continue. Since we have established that angle P is equals to angle R, we can equate 8x minus 66 equals 2x plus 30. So let's do that. 8x minus 66 degree equals to 2x plus 30 degree, right? So what we can do now is to subtract 2x from both sides. We want to collect like them. So subtract 2x from both sides. When you do that, you have in the right hand side 8x minus 2x minus 66 equals 2x minus 2x plus 30. So this is the 2x we subtracted from both sides, right? So in the left hand side, we are left with 8x minus 2x gives 6x minus 66 equals, in the right hand side, this 2x cancels out, equals what? 30. Next, we also, to eliminate minus 66 from the left hand side, we add 66 to both sides. And when you do that, in the left hand side, you're left with just 6x equals to 30 plus 66, right? So 6x equal 30 plus 66 gives 96, right? Next, you divide both sides by 6. And when you do that, you have that x is equals to 96 divided by 6 gives 16 degree. Right now we have gotten the value of x, right? But the question asks us to find the size of the angles, not the value of x. If the question asks you to find the value of x, you simply stop here. But we're told to find the size of the angle, right? Definitely the size of angle P, right? The size of angle P becomes when you substitute the value of x into this expression, right? So let's find angle P. Therefore, the size of angle P is now equals to 8x minus 66, right? But now we know the value of x. The value of x is 16. Right, so we substitute it into this expression, and when we do that, we have 8 into brackets 16 minus 66, right? If you multiply 8 by 16, you have 128 minus 66, right? And when you do the subtraction again, 128 minus 66 gives 62 degree, right? So we have gotten the size of angle P, right? The size of angle P. So definitely I can say the size of angle P is now equals to 62 degree, right? Next, we have to find the size of angle R. Since we have equated angle, in this part we have equated angle P and angle R. So now let's find the size of angle R. Without solving, we should just know that angle R will also be what? 62 degree, right? Because opposite angles are what? Are equal, right? So, but let's just solve. Let's solve to confirm the answer. Now, the expression for angle R is 2x plus 30. So let's do that. Angle R is equal to 2x plus 30. Now, since we have gotten the value of x, all we need to do is to substitute the value of x into this expression, and when we do that, we have equals to 2 into brackets 16 plus 30, and 2 multiplied by 16 gives 32 plus 30, then 32 plus 30 gives 62 degree. You can see angle R is also 62 degree. So we can present it by saying angle R is equals to what? 62. You can see they are actually the same. Angle P and angle R are the same. Why? Because opposite angles of a parallelogram are what? Equal. Now the next we need to find is the size of Z and what? Y. We are looking for angle Z. Take note, angle Q is still the same thing as angle Z, or you can use either of Z and or Q and either of X or Y. So let's use Y and Z typically, right? Now we already know that angle Y is equals to what? Angle Z. Right? We also write that angle Y is equal to angle Z. And what's the reason? The reason is that opposite angle in a parallelogram are equal, right? Now, since we have established that angle Y is equal to angle Z, the next theorem we are going to employ is the theorem that says the sum of angle in a quadrilateral is equals to 360 degree. Please, if you don't know much about this theorem, watch my previous video about quadrilaterals and polygon, right? Now, so that means each of these angle sums up to what? 360 degrees. So let's do that. Remember, we already know the sum of angle we already know the size of angle P, which is 62. So we are saying 62 plus Y plus 62. Remember, we have also gotten the value of R as 62, then plus Y. We are representing this Z as Y again because we have established that this angle is equal to this angle. That means we can call this angle Y. We can also call this angle Y. So let's do that. So we are saying 62 plus 62 plus Y plus Y equals 360 degree. And what's the reason? Sum of angle in a quadrilateral. Now we continue solving. 62 plus 62 gives 124. So write 124 plus Y gives 2Y equals 360 degree. Next, we subtract 124 from both sides. When we do that, in the left hand side we are left with 2y equals, in the right hand side we have 360 minus 124. So 2y equals 360 minus 124 gives 236, right? So we divide both sides by 2, and when we do that, we have that y is equals to 236 divided by 2 gives 118 degree. So the value of y, or the size of angle y, is 118 degree. Right? Remember, we already established that the value of y must be the same thing as the value of what? Z, because they are equal. So same thing, we just know that angle Z, therefore angle Z is also equals to what? 118 what? Degree, right? So we have gotten the size of the four angles. So if you add this angle, which is 62, add this 62 also, add 118 and 11, if you add them together, they all sum up to what? 360 degree, which is the sum of angle in a quadrilateral. I hope it is well understood. Now we have come to the end of this video, so you should be able to find any unknown angles in any parallelogram. Thanks for watching. God bless you, and bye.